What is up, everybody? We are back with another video. I am in a Christmas tree farm in Haskell, Tennessee. It's called Bluebird Christmas Tree Farm. I did like 31 family sessions here on Saturday and it was pretty awesome. But today we have an engagement shoot here. First time ever doing an engagement shoot at a Christmas tree farm. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome and seems like a pretty cool couple. I've not met them yet though, but I think they seem pretty cool when I talk to them on the phone, so I think it's gonna be good. Here's the tree farm. A lot of good options here, and so it's gonna be good, just like every engagement shoot that we do. Glad you're here, glad you tuned in. Hey, before we even get started, go ahead and just do me a favor, like this video, smash that subscribe button, destroy that bell button, make sure you're notified about future videos, and without further ado, let's go meet the couple and see what we can do.
What is up, everybody? We are back and we're doing another behind the scenes. This time we're doing an engagement shoot, so we're doing things a little bit different this time. This couple right here is the first time that I ever met them. You heard that in the intro, and they ended up being so much fun to work with, and I was super stoked about her red hair because like the deep green in these trees and the red hair, and it just made everything pop, and it was just so awesome. And not only that, they ended up being a really fun couple to work with. It's like a dream deal couple. If you had to pick one out to use, they were just a lot of fun, and they let me have that creative freedom that you've heard me talk about several times before. But at the same time, like right here, I'm asking her, like, is there anything specifically that you want? Like, I can sit here and do this all day. I can pose you all day. Time out. Check out this right here. So I happened to snap a shot, and you know, it's right here. And I halfway jokingly was like, you know, watch out. This is liable to be your gallery picture. Like when you go to the website, this is liable to be like the picture. And I followed through with that just because I did blur out their names just for their privacy. But I followed through with that because they were really fun. They laughed a lot. They got it. They had a great sense of humor. So I figured they would somewhat maybe kind of appreciate it. And so anyway, I did do that, and that's okay. Have fun, stand out. Don't worry about being so professional all the time. You know, I think that's where we start losing our creative freedom, when we start worrying about being professional all the time. You know, there is a time and a place for being very professional, but you know, I don't know, this is my business, and I want to operate my business without having to be told what to do or how to act. You know, it just turns out well, and I love working with these couples. And so, but I had asked her what ideas that she may have, and this right here was actually one of hers. She had saw it on Pinterest. She just wanted a tree in the background, some close-up shots, just kind of an intimate thing. But I don't know how intimate it ended up being, because they laughed and cut up the whole time, and I was all for that. You know, you want the outcome of the pictures to match your couple. And so, like, if your couple's really fun and outgoing, don't sit there and just try to pose them in these really lame, boring shots. Let them just be themselves and be there to capture it. And you know, you want, when they send out these on their invitations or their save the dates or whatever, you know, it needs to be a reflection of their personality, because a lot of times it can also set the stage. Like those invitations and those save the dates can set the tone for their whole wedding day. You know, people get those invitations and they look like they're having a lot of fun. They're like, yeah, you know, maybe I haven't seen them in a while. Maybe I will go to the wedding. Maybe it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, it doesn't have to be so formal, and it doesn't have to be like, I feel like a lot of times people like dread going to weddings, but you know, the invitation can change everything. So make them fun. That's why you're doing these engagement pictures, so they can show these to all their friends and families they're going to invite to their big day, that says, hey, we're going to have fun, we're going to party. And it's just, you know, it's not going to be this, you know, really boring, lame thing. It's going to be awesome. And so, you know, you'll probably notice a lot that I am shooting a good distance away from my couples most of the time. And the reason I'm doing that, yes, you do have to yell so they can hear you because you're so far away. But my favorite lens of all times is the Sony 135 f1.8 G Master lens. the compression, the bokeh, the sharpness, everything about the lens, how fast the autofocus is. It is by far, hands down, the best lens that I've ever used. And it would be really hard for any manufacturer to top what Sony has done with this new G Master lens. So yes, you do have to put some distance between you and your couple, but that's okay. If it's achieving the result that you want in your creativity, then use whatever works best for you. If you can make a 24mm lens stand out for portrait photography, do it. If that right there is what separates you and everybody loves it, use it, rock it, do your thing. A 24mm is a hard one to use for portraiture. I have one, I use it sometimes, and I've actually found myself on a couple of weddings primarily using the 24. I like the challenge. It's a challenge. I can sit here and do portraits all day with a 35, and you think, well, a 24, that's not much more than a 35. It actually is. It's a lot more. There's more distortion. It's hard to make the faces look right and stuff. You can go in and fix some of that in post-processing, but it can be a challenge, and I like being challenged, especially when I shoot with a 24 and a 135. That's a huge separation in your fixed focal lengths, and it's a challenge, and I love it, and I've achieved the results that I want, and I think it's made me stand out as a photographer in this industry. So back to the couple. So I've brought them up here in a field where some tall grass is. I love shooting in tall grass. If you have the chance to shoot in tall grass, always do it, because in my opinion, it just always works out, especially when the grass is in the fall and it's kind of starting to die out. It's kind of getting that, like wheat color to it, especially like at golden hour. Now I know that, the clouds are out this time, and we're not getting that real golden hour that we want or that you would like to have, but you make the best out of any situation. The overcast sky does make for some beautiful diffused light, and so you can work with it just as well. I would rather have a full day of diffused light from clouds than 10 minutes of golden hour, or 10 or 15 minutes of golden hour, and that's just my opinion. Because I can give you a couple of really awesome photos, and then the rest are going to be totally blown out because it's been so sunny all day, or we can just have a totally cloudy day and I can just give you bomb pictures just all day long. So anyway, we kind of explored this whole farm. It was actually a pretty big farm. It was really awesome. One of the shots that I do love to do is the dancing shots. I usually have him twirl her one way and then back the opposite direction real quick, and I just kind of snap and achieve what I'm looking for there. And I know that some people may be watching this and are like, man, this dude snaps a lot of pictures back to back. And yes, I do shoot on continuous high, and I do that for a reason. Yes, I am taking more pictures. No, I am not just spraying and praying as a lot of people would think. I'm trying to capture all kinds of different emotions. I could take one picture, pause for 2 seconds, and take another picture, and I could do that. But if I sit there and I snap 5 in a row, then the chances of me getting just 5 different emotions is very likely. You get different emotions after every single shot, and I love that. And so it's my business. I do what I want. If you don't like it, don't do it in your business. But anyway, so moving on. Don't know why I feel like I had to justify myself, but I feel like that could become an issue. So boom, done. Nailed that one. So here we go. I like movement. I think I've talked about this before, like in my weddings. This was fun. He was ready to snap the ball, and by that I mean catch her, and she failed. She failed miserably on the first try, so I asked her to do it again, and she did nail it the second time. But and that's one thing, is if you ask your couple to do something and it doesn't work out, or they fail at it, or whatever happens, don't be afraid to ask them to do it again. I don't care if you've even, said, and you'll see I even done it myself here at the end, or no, maybe it was this one, on these poses. It was either these or the other ones. Anyway, I took a bunch of shots, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm really just not happy with this light. And so I totally asked them to move real quick. So this was like the only minute of the evening that the sun popped through those clouds. It was literally like 1 minute. I looked over, saw it. We stopped what we were doing. We jumped over there. We got a couple of really good shots, but it was the only semi-golden hour top shots that we were able to get. So if you see that, stop what you're doing, get it while you can, and don't try to make something that's not, because you could keep sitting there and trying to make something happen. Once the sun goes back behind those clouds and you're not going to, and you're going to waste time, just get your shots, move on, especially on a cloudy day when you don't know how long the sun is going to be peeking through those clouds. But anyway, getting back to talking about movement. So I keep my couples moving all the time, whether it be little movements with the hands or the head or whatever, or even like this. One of my favorite things to do is the drunk walk. That was kind of like the drunk walk. I'll talk about that later because we got to talk about this right now. So this is one of those things where you joke and say, hey, why don't you do this? And then they say, okay. Even though you were halfway joking and they said, okay, you still do it. Obviously, you don't want to put your couples in a dangerous situation, but in a halfway joking manner, if you do say this and they say, okay, and waivers have been signed, hey, go for it. Have some fun with it. And this is a Dirty Dancing style. And it really made this session stand out so much more at how willing they were both to do this. And they absolutely killed it. And it was probably one of my favorite things. So, bam. Super, super awesome. All right, so I know I kind of mentioned it earlier, but this is actually the spot where I set them up. We're wrapping things up, kind of trying to get a couple of intimate shots. We've been pretty fun, pretty outgoing and energetic the whole time. We're kind of trying to bring it in the last little bit here and just make sure that we've got some intimate shots of the couple as well as we start to wrap things up. But this is the one where we started doing things, and I really wasn't happy with the lighting that was going on, so I did end up moving them to a different spot. Like I said, don't be afraid to ask your couples to move. Hey, I really appreciate you all stopping by and tuning in. If this content was helpful, remember to subscribe, like this video, and smash that bell. We'll see you soon.